Good morning, Mr. Toms. How are you? You have already been outside eating the grass. Does that mean you're going to be throwing up sometime soon? Are you going to look out the window, or are you going to hop on your perch and get ready for your cat nap? And do you see any gills outside? Do you? Are you looking? Jump. Ooh, look at you go, hey? For an old kitty, you can sure jump still. Shut her down. It's another day. Last video, I don't know what the heck is going on. I am totally baffled why I can't get the tack and that to work. Blows my mind. Anyways, gonna do the spark plugs on the F-150. Shouldn't have any issues with that. And that's the last project on the Ford, hopefully for a while. Back on the Jeep and to get everything that needs to be done to get it back on the road legally. So that's interesting. Not getting a camshaft signal by the looks of it. These N2 ones were definitely the hardest ones to get out for sure. Probably would have had a couple broken ones. You know, Mr. Toms, it is not very nice out today. And I totally understand why you just want to sit on the chair and sleep. It's okay. You can do whatever you want, Mr. Toms. Mr. Toms. Yeah, it's definitely not very nice out today at all. We got lots of videos to edit today, but need to run down to KMS Tools. They got sawhorses on sale, 2 fold-up ones, $54. He's gonna be starting on the 8.8 axle pretty soon. Get that out of the way. Says they're good for 1,000 pounds, plastic though, so when I start working on the axle, I'll have to put a fire blanket on it to help protect it. But probably in a couple of weeks, start tearing that old turd down, getting it ready. Lineups to get into Princess Auto, just like Russia, waiting for the bread. What do you got on your nose? Here, what do you got on your nose? You got some sand from sniffing the ground after you took a big dump. It's raining out and you have to come outside just to take a dump. Sometimes I just don't get you, and I don't. You're gonna sniff my hand before you bite it? Is that what you're gonna do? Alright, from good old Princess Auto, picked up an extra can of PB Blaster because I'm almost out. I didn't want the gloss, that's all they had. And of course he had the Russian bread line going on out there, so I didn't want to go run to another store. So I guess the stand's gonna be gloss, and this can of consent is fucking done with. Fresh new can of WD-40, but what I really needed to go to Princess Auto for was cutoff wheels. I got 1 in the grinder and 5 right there. Hopefully it'll be enough to get me going, but Princess Auto wanted way too much money. And I don't know about you guys, but unless a cutoff wheel is about a 1/16 of an inch, I just don't understand how people could use like the thicker cutoff wheels that are like, you know, 1/8 of an inch or whatever. Those are fucking way too big. Way too big. Let's get this Jeep outside. Start building the metal tube bender stand. Well, let's see how complicated these sawhorses are. That's it. All right, let's grab this metal. This one I'm gonna use to help build it, except for the 1 inch. 6 feet. now comes the time to figure out. I got 6 feet of tube, so I want to utilize it as efficiently as possible. So if I make the base like an H in 2 feet sections, I'm hoping that won't have it fall over when I'm bending tube. Now ultimately that's going to come down to some common sense, which a lot of people don't have. If you have 10 feet of tube at the back, it's probably gonna fucking topple over, so you're gonna have to use a stand. You're gonna have to use it on a stand. Probably build it the same height as the sawhorses, or pretty close to that. Because if I have it pretty close to the height of the sawhorses, and then if I'm bending tube, I could have the overhang on there. Use my old speedy square here to scribe my mark. Got my base laid out. Just gonna tack everything together first, just in case you gotta make some changes, you can bust it apart easy. So measure now 29.5 inches. All right, this is where one wrong move can make everything not level. So I need to make sure I'm going to be level both ways on this axis and on this axis. So I'm at 90 here, so I'm just going to throw a tack in the corner. I put in just a small little tack, and then I can manipulate it afterwards. Now I'm going to this side, and I'm still at 90. Gotta throw another tack in. Double check. And then I'm just gonna tack all 4 corners. All right, so that's all tacked together. Before I can put the platform up top, I need to assemble the bender and see what kind of platform it needs to bolt onto. Model 32 tube bender, JD squared. Well, let's see what we can accomplish. All right, looking over the instructions, no need to get a big boner because it says it bolts through anything that you can put 2 3/4 inch holes in. All right, so I don't have to assemble this to figure out how it's gonna melt. I can already see. So looking at this plate right there, that's what I have to deal with. Not a big deal. Remember this plate when I built that for the OR fab? I wonder if this is gonna burn up all my cutting discs. Gonna find out. I'm actually quite surprised. I'm 3/4 of the way through first disc, and it just cut like butter. Is it me, or does that weld look like it's cold with no penetration? So there you go, the stand is made, welded in, put a couple gussets on her, because the tube bender is gonna be pretty heavy. And the gussets will take the stress off of the welds at the bottom. We got the Power Fist, fast dry, anti-rust Power Fist. Gonna get spray paint all on my brand new sawhorses. I was working away. Steve, home guy, 4x4, known on YouTube and Instagram, came by with his JK. It's actually a really nice build. But what I wanted to see off of his Jeep was the tailgate table at the back. So I want to fabricate my own. So I want to have a close look on how it was all built and assembled, so I could try to make something similar. I think it'll be pretty easy enough to do. Alright, threw some paint on her. Mr. Toms, are you comfortable there? Is it bedtime for us? Is it bedtime for us? Is it? Are you comfortable just gonna sleep on the couch tonight? Is that what you're gonna do? Is that what you're gonna do, Mr. Toms? You love the cuddle. Well, it's the next day. Sun's starting to come out. There was a couple little flurries first thing in the morning, but I think it's going to be an alright day. Let's finish this project. Hello, Mr. Tom Gatz. What are you doing? You want to go inside? Yeah, too cold for you? Well, outside's warmer than what the garage is. Got the stand on the ground. And then there's my foot pedal right there. They give you such a short hydraulic line. I'm hoping that possibly I could point the hydraulic cylinder down, and then maybe I still won't need to put it on a block or something. We're gonna find out. Grab the old Proto Saskatchewan all 16ths. It's supposed to have oil in it. I guess we're... Why won't you? Oh, that's probably why. Try to thread the hose in without cross-threading it. What would Jesus do in this situation? Okay, so jumping forward a little bit, let's go to the bench here, where I got my 1.5-inch die and some other pieces. However, on the stand, I got it assembled, besides for putting the hydraulic cylinder in and everything else. But the problem is, this is what the problem is. I got this. This is a leftover piece. Now, coming over here to the instructions. So it shows you the assembly of the manual bender, and I don't see no big die there used. And then go to the hydraulic ones right there. I don't see no big spacer there, or washer, whatever the heck it is. See if I can turn this page again, and then it shows the hydraulic bender assembled there, and I still don't see where it would go. Google JD squared model 32 bender, and did some Googling online the last half hour, and I honestly can't figure out what this piece is, or where it could go, or what it's for. I don't know. But let's, we got the cylinder on the table there. Let's thread it in. This is the hydraulic cylinder. And then we start hopefully get it threaded through somewhere. Okay, we're going. We're gonna find out if this thing works or not. It says pump foot down. Oh shit. I turned the air off. I was getting scared there for a second. Oh, there we go. All right, well, let's put the die in. Except this piece is stuck. Why won't you come out? I'm gonna throw some assembly grease in these holes. So now this is my pin. Try to get over here so you guys can see it's kind of set all the way to the bottom. So I wonder if the spacer actually goes in between here. I'm gonna put it in there then double check. Bear with me here, this is my first time trying to figure this all out. Of course, it's not as smooth as you see on YouTube videos. You tighten that up. And this thing's marked and says top hole number 4. But why don't you want to line up with the bottom? Why are you playing this game? Spray the pin with some WD-40. Why don't you want to go in? There we go, finally. All right, we'll try this again. So it says I need to take out the slack. There we go, slack is taken out. Just gonna WD-40 the pipe there. All right, everything is set up for the first practice bend. Wish me luck. Hope we don't break something. So I gotta try to make an adjustment somehow, because I can't seem to go back far enough to get that into the hole for whatever reason. All right, got the pin to drop. Had a hydraulic leak from the hose fitting or something. Redid those. We're gonna see if we still have an issue. All right, try this again, see what happens. All right, this is what I figured out in the first bends. Is the key is to, because of spring back, is to bend it until this lock starts lifting on the next piece here. When it does that, then release the pressure and then the arm will come back and you can drop the pin inside. That's what I found. You can't say for sure it's gonna work. But I'm about to find out. There we go. What I want to do is that I'm not happy with this. It worked, and the problem is like this shifter cable will have to come back because the drive shaft bolts comes up through here, so that's gonna be a problem. So with this 180, it's gonna be put in right like that, and that will solve all my issues and get rid of that. All right, the other day got a letter come in. Says, motherfucking beer time, white trash TJ. That's his handle on Instagram. You can check him out there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there. Tomcats, it's motherfucking beer time. Do you want to go outside? Tomcats, do you want to go outside? Do you? You gonna play with your box? Are you gonna knock it over? Tomcats. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. Come on. Tomcats. Come on. Come on. I know you want to go outside. Tomcats. Come on. Let's grab an old brewski from the fridge. Gonna bust out the Yukon Red. Fuck yeah, shut her down, motherfucking beer time, Yukon Red. It's been sitting in my beer fridge for a while, so I wonder if it's stale. It's flat. Tastes good. Amber ale, motherfucking beer time, everybody. So, two benders assembled. Works. Had some little quirks at first with hydraulic fittings were leaking. Took them apart. We put some dope on them. Retightened them up. Working good. Figured out how to operate that with the pin and when it retracts. How to get it back in. Have to get it to where it starts pulling up on the next, or pulling out of the hole. And then back it off a little bit to pull the pin off, let it come back, it'll jump in. So I'm pretty impressed. I'm looking forward to fabricating some stuff now. Gonna redo the transmission mount. Gonna work on the bumper. Do something on the rear bumper. And fabricate some sliders and stuff. But yeah, I'm getting pumped. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's gonna be lots of fabrication and that to come. I'll see you guys in the next one. Motherfucking beer time.